Hello, everybody. Oh, it's dark.
You have to capture the light.
Learning how to use the new camera, but still we're dark. Oh, is that brighter? Did it brighten up a little?
That works.
All right. Hello. So it's Monday afternoon, evening. Actually, it's almost time to start dinner. And I wanted to do a quick video because actually I did this video already in the car for a vlog, but for some reason my phone glitched and it disappeared. So we're starting over. I want to do a video real quick with Scott so you guys could better understand keto or the ketogenic diet. Yeah. Because, well, at least the people in my life, many people in his life and probably in mine too, know how keto works, but I've had a lot of inquiries about it. And for whatever reason, I cannot retain anything Scott tells me every day about keto. I ask him, well, what does it do again? What does that mean? And so when somebody asks me about it, it just sounds really weird because I'm like, oh, I eat a lot of fat. Like, what do you mean? You're eating ice cream, you're eating avocado with salad dressing on it. How in the heck is this actually working? So anyway, I'm gonna have him let you know what it's all about in a simple form.
Simple form. So the first thing I want to point out is the biggest thing that people say or react when they hear that is high fat. That's what surprises them is high fat has gotten such a bad rap over the years. We're typically used to that being linked to heart disease and such. So I just want to point out first of all that there's a great documentary out there called Fed Up that you should go watch. Back in the 60s, major sugar companies paid off a bunch of scientists to write some research papers stating that fat was the link between heart disease and many other diseases, and point the blame at fat rather than sugar. So in the 60s and 70s, when all this processed food and all the carbs and processed sugars and sodas started to really come into play, diabetes picked up like crazy. And over the years, we've just, the research points out that was just a big fat lie. So for years and decades even, fat has had a really bad ring to it because of just that. Back in the 60s and 70s, people said that it was bad. So I just wanted to point that out first because that's the biggest misconception is people say, why are you eating high fat? So we're just accustomed to thinking high fat's bad, which it's not. Research
There's
has
good
shown
fats.
There's good fats. Now on the keto diet, you can have a very sloppy diet. There's such a thing as eating clean on keto and eating bad. So you definitely want to keep your keto diet clean. Just because you can't have carbs and sugars doesn't mean you can still not eat bad. There's still bad fats and bad stuff out there that you should particularly watch. So. Well, it's getting dark.
I know. I'm gonna go get my light.
Well, this is when we got to mess with the settings.
Yeah.
So the keto diet is typically she's gonna go grab the light. Okay. All right, we're back. So now that we know why fat got a bad name, I also want to say that the keto diet was not started as a weight loss fad. It was started to help children with epilepsy, and then went on to help cancer patients because, as we know, carbs and sugar progress and make tumors grow faster. So the ketogenic diet is not some fad diet. There's a lot of research and science behind it. It's been around since the 70s. So what the ketogenic diet is in simplest forms is a high fat, moderate protein, and very low carb diet. So that in percentages is anywhere between 65 and 75% fat for the day, anywhere between 20 to 30% protein, maybe even a little higher depending on how hard you're working out, and you want to be around 5% carbs. That's anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of carbs is ideal. Some people can get away with 50 grams of carbs a day and still remain in ketosis. So,
what is ketosis?
Ketosis. So, Ketosis is the production of energy that uses ketones rather than glucose for energy. So we're used to having carbs in our diet, which means we have glycogen as a form of energy. So we use those glycogen stores and burn up those carbs for energy to keep us going. But on the keto diet, we use fat instead. And what's awesome about that is because there's no glycogen in your system and your carbs are low, it doesn't have to work through a stored source of energy, glycogen. It can tap right into your fat cells. So while you're in ketosis, you burn fat for energy rather than just utilizing glycogen. The benefits of that is a healthier heart, mental clarity, anti-inflammatory, not properties, but helps with inflammation, less bloat, your joints feel better because of the carb withdrawal. So that's basically it. You're using ketones.
What are ketones?
Scientifically, I couldn't explain that.
Okay.
It's just a source. I don't even know what part of the body or what exactly produces ketones, but that's basically a source of energy rather than glycogen.
And then other things people are asking is because I'm doing the intermittent fasting. So I don't eat in the morning. I drink my bulletproof coffee. Bulletproof coffee, which is coffee with butter, and unsalted butter and MCT oil. And I'm currently using the Fourth and Heart vanilla flavored ghee from Whole Foods that Brittany, actually, my friend Brittany, directed me to. So that's helped. I like that better than the unsalted grass-fed butter. And then MCT oil. And you blend all that together with your coffee. And that's how I start my morning. And then I don't eat until about 1 o'clock. And then I eat between the hours of 1 and 7. But I'm getting questioned, why am I fasting? I thought breakfast was your most important meal of the day.
I'm not going to sit here and explain intermittent fasting because I don't know it as much as I do keto. For the simplest benefits, intermittent fasting can purge cancerous cells. It can up your testosterone in both men and women for healthy test levels. It also can help restrict calories if you are counting macros and looking to limit or be in a caloric deficit. But also the intermittent fasting, the bulletproof coffee is to give you, I don't know the chemical combination that happens. There's a specific thing that happens when you drink the bulletproof coffee, the fat mixed with the caffeine in the coffee. There's a chemical reaction that does under your body that I can't explain quite, but it's also supposed to be, with the MCT oil, it's also supposed to be a boost of energy because you are fasting, and it doesn't break your fast.
MCT oil is? Medium
chain triglycerides. It comes from coconut oil.
Okay. And that's giving my bulletproof coffee the extra fat that I need, right? Because
the butter and the ghee is giving it the extra fat.
Okay.
The MCT oil is giving you a good source of energy, but it also does have, I think, 14 grams of fat.
Because something I'm trying to learn with every meal or every snack is including a fat. You know, because I was like, oh, cool, I can have ground beef and mushrooms for dinner, which are one of my favorite little things to whip up. But Scott's like, you need to add cheese to it, or you need to add avocado to it, because you have to have a fat with your every meal. So that's been hard for me to get used to. So right now, like, I'll go grab a stick of, string cheese with a stick of a Hearts of Palm, because I love those. So I'm just trying to get used to adding a fat in with everything.
And the reason for that is if you have protein by itself, protein can convert into glucose, which can kick you out of ketosis by itself. So if you just went and had a chicken breast, that would certainly probably more than likely kick you out of keto just because of the way that the protein breaks down.
Yeah. Now, as far as getting into ketosis, I can't tell you. I'm going to assume I'm in ketosis because I feel pretty awesome. I'm actually usually a pretty forgetful scatterbrain, and I just feel like I'm starting my day fresh. I know everything going on. I don't know. I feel good. I feel really, really good. And I've done a lot of different meal plans. And I like this one a lot because I don't have to meal prep. Now you can definitely meal prep while you're on ketosis or on keto, but you don't have to. Like, I can literally look in the fridge and pull out stuff to eat and just balance it all out, make sure I'm getting my fats, and it's kind of nice. I kind of like that way, you know, not so strict and 500, you know, containers in the fridge right now and 3 hours in the kitchen on Sundays prepping my food. Scott's been coming up, and this is another thing. Scott's been coming, he's been online, Pinterest and all that stuff, and he's come up with some great recipes. We've had a chowder, we've had a pizza, which is my favorite. I absolutely loved our pizza. And we, you know, jalapeno poppers. There's so many options out there, and it's been really awesome, but I've gotten a lot of questions about what is that, how do you make that? So what I'm going to start doing is not so much our basic ordinary, you know, meals, but when Scott actually tries something new like the pizza last night, I'm going to take a picture of our food. I'm going to get the whole recipe from him, and then I'm going to give both of our reviews, his and mine, because it doesn't mean we always like the same stuff. And I'm going to add that to my blog. So I'll try and do that. My goal is always daily, but daily blogs have never been my thing. Like, I usually go, you know, a little while in between. So maybe I'll even do weekly, but then I know that's going to be time consuming to put everything in. But you can find that on my blog starting, and I'll tell you when I get it officially going. But I do have a website, jamieaofarrell.com. That's where you can find, it is .com, right? My Limelight one's .us, but yeah, it's .com. jamieaofarrell.com, and that's my website. It has everything that I do all there, so I'm going to incorporate that onto my fitness blog that's on there, because I know a lot of you want to see what's going on.
One of the cool things about keto is it's basically, you're still eating clean, but you're able to add some zest to it. And what I mean by that is we still eat salads, but we don't have to have a dried chicken breast. We can have chicken thighs with fat. We can have steak and add that on. We drizzle olive oil or low carb, low sugar ranch. It's still filled with vegetables. If you're going to have Brussels sprouts, add some bacon on it. Bacon and butter for some grass-fed butter. So
keto has bacon. I've had bacon a few times.
Keto diet isn't just have all this fat. It's still very, you have to still pick and choose. If you're going to get steak, you know, you don't want to stick with lean meats. You want the fat. So it's a very tasteful and fulfilling diet. You're not constantly hungry on it. So foods taste really, really good on keto.
Want to come say hi? Look. No? Okay. All right, well.
So it's hard explaining on camera, especially when you're not an expert, and neither of us are.
No, but we're not nutritionists, so
I've done a lot of research over the last year.
What are some podcasts that you like to watch?
Go check out Joe Rogan, Dom Agostino, who's amazing when it comes to supplements and nutrition. Tim Ferriss. Who else does? Mark Bell is doing keto right now. Him and his brother have both lost. Mark's lost 30 pounds in the last 30 days.
And Mark Bell has a keto specific protein as well that we have. Yeah. And it's actually pretty yummy.
Yeah. So there's so much to it, and I just wish that people wouldn't think it's a trend. You know, there's science and everything is behind it. It's not for everybody, but definitely the best I've felt on a diet. And to me, it's easy because the food tastes really good. So
careful.
Remember, to put it in the simplest form, it's using fat as energy rather than glycogen. So that's why it's helping people lose weight, is because the source of energy comes from fat, which is burned.
And it's dinner time. It's dinner time. And what's on the menu tonight?
Dinner is zucchini noodles. It's like a mac and cheese zucchini with Korean short ribs.
I love that. Love them both. So we'll share that with you later. All right, that's it.
Hope that helped.
Hopefully that helped. That was kind of long. I was hoping we'd keep it brief, but it's okay.
No, you're gonna have to edit some.
Cut.
Edit. Nah, I'd edit. You know, I'm sitting there for 3 minutes while you're getting.